Hello and welcome back to Black Dice Gaming. I'm James and today I'm going to show you how I painted up my Spacemarine for the competition from Hull Pops. So here's the little guy just here. Okay, and this isn't an instruction video. This is more just how I got to the stage and some of the stages that I took and some of the effects that I was able to gain. So without further ado, let's do some painting. So with the painting competition not far ahead, it's time to get these painted. So this isn't a tutorial, this is just how I'm going to do them. And never ever painted a Space Marine before, so let's see how it goes. So the first colour I'm going to be using is the Macragge Blue, and this has just been watered down to thin it out a little bit. And I'm literally just going to paint the whole thing, just to give it that base coat. There was an option of doing one with or without a head and helmet, sorry, and I always take the helmeted option if I can. Although I should have pushed myself and maybe gone for the face option. Okay, so I'm just using an old brush here, really, just to slap it on and push it around. Trying to get a nice, good, even coverage. But probably having to give a second cut. Okay, I'll be back once I'm a little bit further on, and you can see how the blue looks. Okay, so with 2 coats of blue on, I got a really good coverage there all over. I've taken the gun off because I'll be painting that separately. But we're going to do some panel lining. I've never done this before, so this is my first attempt at it. Normally I just wash everything, but with this we're kind of trying to get it more into the recesses rather than just painting it everywhere. Okay, I'm not sure how the camera's picking that up. So I'm just using Null Oil. It's just a case of going around the whole model where all the panels are. I'll concentrate too much there actually, and the gun's going to cover most of that, but just letting it fall into the recesses. And try not to darken down the blue too much. Okay, so I'll crack on. Okay, so I've moved it up a couple of steps now. I've done all the panel lining and I've picked out all the silver. I've done nothing else with that other than just pick it out. And then I gave the blue a dry brush. Now what I did is I did a 50-50 mix of Macragge Blue and Teclis Blue. So the first dry brush was that. And then I'm going to go in with a second dry brush of just Teclis Blue. But this is going to be much softer. We're really not going in with a heavy one. So all we want to do is just push those highlights again up to the next level. And so it's really light. And really what I'm going to concentrate on here is just the sort of areas where the sun is, where the light would catch the model. So just the sort of top section here, and I'm just giving it a gentle little back and forth just to pick up and do it this way. You might be able to see how it picks up. You see how it's picking up on these sort of really high edges, And again, if we're assuming the sun's or the light source is kind of beating down on them, then we want to be concentrating from this angle. Okay. So yeah, I'm pretty much just going to do that across the sort of top edges of the model, just to give it that bit more definition. And then we'll move on. Okay, so what we've done here, I've put an all-null wash on the metallic parts, and then I've done a sort of edge no, I didn't. I did like a very light dry brush with a mixture of 1:1 of Macragge blue and Tetalus blue. I then did just Tetalus blue on its own, and then I've done an edge highlight in Hearth blue, I think it was, yeah, Hearth blue. And you know, you can see where I've picked out the edges on certain items around his face, across the top of his shoulders and whatnot. The gun, I've done a sepia wash on the muzzle. That's going to be a slightly different colour. I'm going to go for a sort of pearlescent sort of effect with that. But there we go. So yeah, done the base, done a first coat on the base. I did that in Storm Vermin Fair, just a grey, and I'll go over it with a wash, and then a light dry brush over the top of that as well. Okay, so I'll crack on with a little bit more, and I'll keep you updated. Okay, so we've moved on with a few more steps now. Painted in the eye, as you can see, done the gold trim. Done 2 coats of Glorious Gold by Vallejo Game Colour. The muzzle on the gun here was silver, Iron Hands steel, I think it was, with sepia wash, followed by Leviathan purple contrast, and then I used a Talisar blue at the very tip to give it sort of that pearlescent look. Also a couple of buttons that I've painted on the weapon there as well. Spin it round. Here we go. Base was Storm Vermin Fair, and then I've put a Nuln wash over the top of that. I haven't glued the model, so I'm able to just quickly pick him off like that, and then do a light dry brush when the time's right on that base. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, this little thing here, so I'll probably paint that pink. The missus likes pink, so it'll appeal to her at least. So yeah, it's coming on quite nicely. Detail wise, I've still got the pouches on the back. There's a couple there that that's probably the next step I'm gonna do. And then put a wash on the gold, and then highlight that as well. And we're not far off, really, I don't think. I'll see, do that, and then see how far we can push it from that point. Okay. Oh, again, forever dropping models. But yep, we'll be back. So here we are. We've done another couple of colours on the base. We dry brushed in Dawnstone, and then an admin grey as well. I've done a little bit of detail on the back here, which I used for Lupus Pink, and then a very, very light dry brush of Emperor's Children. Excuse me. We've done the pouches on the back here. I used Mornfang Brown, and then highlighted with Steel Legion Drab. The wash has been done on the gold. There was another slight highlight done in Retributor Armor. No, sorry, Glorious Gold. And then I used Liberator's Gold on top of that. The buttons and the eyes I've dotted with Wild Rider Red. And this is the stage where we're at now. So I'm not sure what more else I can do. Obviously do the rim. But I've got to say, for my very first ever Space Marine, I have thoroughly enjoyed painting these. and I certainly will be buying some to paint up for myself. But I'll keep looking at it, and if I can make a few more alterations, then I certainly will, and I'll push this forward if I. So here we are with the finished article. Try and keep it in focus. This is going to be entered into the competition, along with the Age of Sigma Stormcast guy, which I haven't done yet. But here we go. So please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, if you got anything from it, or indeed if you just want to see how I get on with the Age of Sigma video, the Stormcast guy. Alright, so hopefully I shall catch you in the next one.